Going live early. I don't know if we can handle this.
We're live now.
Are we live? No, it hasn't started yet. No way, has it? It has! Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Super Review Show's Mixed Bag with my co-host, Bill. Oh, what's that? Okay.
Hey, what's going on?
Bill Murphy has joined us again. Welcome aboard, my friend. How you doing tonight?
Doing all right. I'm still alive, so that's a good thing.
Always a good thing.
I think in 2020, being alive is an accomplishment.
I would say so too. Anyways, everyone, how is everyone doing tonight? Remember, feel free to join us in the chat board. I'm just
Send me the link.
I'm sharing you the link now. That way Bill can share with all of his friends. And
all my friends, tell your friends, tell your kids, tell your wives, tell your dogs, tell your cats, even tell your neighbor you can't stand. They're finally useful for something.
They are finally useful for something, Bill.
And being useful for something is fun.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Bill. Yes, it is.
So we got a great show for you today, don't we, JT?
We have a wonderful show for all of you tonight. There's
going to be strippers. There's going to be fireworks. There's going to be
yeah. We're going to be talking about sequels and
sequelitis. Sequels.
Who doesn't like sequels? We're going to be talking for everyone. We're talking about anything and everything we're going to do with sequels. Not necessarily franchises, but
we did that last week.
If
you want to go check that out, go watch that.
But feel free to jump in, share it with your family and friends and your neighbors and everyone. We're going to be talking this week about sequels and what are our favorites and what are the ones that suck. And I mean suck. So here we go.
The ones that really are just god-awful. And we're going to talk about it all, the good, the bad, and just the plain
ugly.
Just the plain strange. Am I right? Just the weird ass.
Yeah. Just so some sequels are weird, some sequels are good, but that's okay. Like, for instance, I'm creating a thumbnail as we speak, and it's one of them says Toy Story 9.
We're going to be talking about the Toy Story sequels today, folks. Do not worry. We're going to talk about it all.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be talking about anything from Avatar and upcoming sequels, too. We can't forget that, Bill.
Oh, we absolutely cannot talk about it. I mean, we absolutely got to talk about it. So, sorry, I was just texting all my friends and telling them to tune in.
You're on your phone. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, everyone, tell your friends, tell your kids.
Everyone. Eric, welcome aboard. Matthew, welcome back.
Hey, Matt's here.
Matt's here.
Hey, buddy. Welcome to the party.
Hello. Feel free to chit chat in the chat board.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Here we go, everyone.
It's going to be a good one, folks. We're be a good one. So what should we start with, my friend?
Well, I don't know, Bill. Why don't you start us off today so I get everything situated on the technical side of stuff?
Okay, sounds good.
Why don't you talk about an unpopular opinion that is a sequel from a franchise, plugging our two last shows? Why don't you talk about The Godfather?
Okay, so The Godfather trilogy. The first one, which was made in 1972 with Marlon Brando. Yes, Matt, I know you're not a fan of it. I know. Hey, Joe Wiley is joining us. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe, how's it going? Love to see ya.
I know I'm a little late on this, but you excited for the number one draft pick for the Rangers? But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, Godfather 1 is an absolute classic. Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, James Caan. My only thing is it is a little long. I'll admit that it is a little long.
It's like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah. Godfather 2, which some people consider to be one of the best sequels. And I agree. Some people say it's better than the first one, but I wouldn't go that far. But I would say it's as good as the first one. I prefer the first one better. I like the second one. My only gripe is they kind of flash back and forth a little too much, which kind of makes it a little... It's like Nevada, 1950s. New York City, 1917.
Yeah.
It just goes back and forth, but it's like, and what you see in these is like kind of the transition of characters. It's like one, Michael's character, Michael, played by Al Pacino, to kind of show his transition. In the first one, he's the goody two shoes, just got back from serving in World War II, and then at the end he becomes the boss. And in Godfather 2, he's basically the epitome of evil.
Oh yeah. Oh,
and then in Godfather, and then okay, we talked about this when we talked about unpopular opinions.
Yeah.
Godfather 3, which was made in 1990. First Godfather 2, it shows Michael's current power and also his father, played. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. You're good.
I'm sorry. Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties here, guys. Sorry, give me a second.
You're good on my end. Don't worry. Keep going. You're doing fine.
Shoot. Well,
you were talking about God.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you,
dude.
Bill.
I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
What's going on?
Bill, check your mic. It's okay. I will take over for now.
I literally can't hear you right now.
Hold on, Bill. It's okay.
Excuse us, folks. Little technical difficulties.
It's okay. Hold on 1 second. It's okay, everyone. We're doing okay. All right.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Hold on 1 second. Select the speaker, select the microphone. Can you hear me now? Sorry about the technical difficulties, everyone. Hold on. I'm going to keep going on my end if that's okay. So anyways, he was talking about stuff regarding The Godfather. All right, hold on. We're just still live. Hey, Bill, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. It was something with my speaker. I apologize.
All good. So you're good on your end?
Yeah, I'm good now, guys. We apologize.
Sorry about our
a little bit of a technical issue.
It's okay, everyone.
Okay, so what was I talking about? Godfather 3?
Godfather 3.
Okay, so Godfather 3, it takes place Francis Ford Coppola only made The Godfather 3 because what? Okay,
it's okay.
It takes many years after the first Godfather. He's okay, so Michael is now old. His wife Kay has divorced him, and he's just trying to redeem himself. That's of shit that happened in the second. For those who didn't see any of the previous films, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but it's just a really here's and I've talked about this before, so I'm not going to say too much about it again. But the thing is with Godfather 3, it's not as good as the other two, but the other two were hard acts to follow.
That's true. He's got a good point.
Godfather 1 and Godfather 2 both won Best Picture.
Yeah.
They both won Best Picture. So
yeah, and I'm looking at it right now, so forgive me.
You understand that, they're not as good as the other two. They're not as good as the other two because they're not as good as the other two because they're just hard acts to follow. Godfather 1's a masterpiece. Godfather 2's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And Godfather 3, it tries, but it doesn't live up to the other two. And I think that's why so many people don't like it, because it's just not as good as the other two, which I kind of agree, but I don't think it's that bad of a movie. like if you tell people that Godfather 3 is actually a decent film, people will lose their effing shit.
Yeah.
Like there's that, and even Francis Ford Coppola, he didn't want to do a Godfather 3. He just did it because he was in financial trouble.
That's true. He did.
And then he made another movie, which we shall not speak of. The movie Jack with Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that movie?
Which one was it? Jack?
Jack.
I saw it. Yeah. It was I liked it.
It's about a boy who grows who grows
He's an old he
grows quicker than most people.
yes. I guess that's the best way of putting it. I'm not sure how you explain it.
It stars Robin Williams. Jennifer Lopez is in it as his teacher.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
And also it stars a certain comedian, which I can't really say his name anymore because of things that have happened to this person. Yeah, so, but yeah, I think the Godfather trilogy is one of the best trilogies in film. All right, JT, what about you? Have any sequels to talk about?
I do. I got a couple to start off with as I scroll through our pages here. Let me stop sharing my screen for a second. I would like to say that I like, a lot of people, I guess this kind of coincides with franchises, but the Toy Story sequels, you can make an argument that they're better than the first one. I would make the argument.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
In a way, here's how I would rank the series.
I'm not including 4 specifically because 4 I didn't see yet. So don't.
Well, I'm going to include 4 because I saw it. So
okay, go ahead.
I would put Toy Story 2 at 1, Toy Story 3 at number 2, Toy Story 1 at number 3, and I would put Toy Story 4 at the bottom.
Really? It was not the best one of
it wasn't bad. It was just Toy Story 3 just ended on a perfect note. You've seen it, right? Toy Story 3?
I saw Toy Story 3 in theaters. It was the highlight of that year for me was actually like that, seeing that movie. Because I gotta remember Toy Story 2 came out, what, 1999?
Yeah.
And Toy Story 3 came out, I'm checking right now. Hold on, let me share my screen.
2010.
2010. Thank you. So give me 1 second. Let me just do this. Completely unprofessional today, everyone. But that's okay.
Yeah, we apologize.
So,
well, it's 2020, folks.
Yeah, exactly. And what else is new, right?
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, well, okay, so how would you rank everything?
The worst one, I can only do the first 3 because Toy Story 4 I haven't seen. But if I'm gonna go honestly, I'm gonna say probably in order from worst to best.
Yes.
This is gonna be kind of ironic, but 1, 2, 3.
Really? You think 3 was the worst?
No, I mean in worst to best. I think 1 was the worst out of the 3 I've seen. 1 was the worst, 2 was the second best, and I think it literally went in chronological order, like as far as quality-wise. The first one was the worst one, and that's not a snug on that film at all. That film is fan-freaking-tastic.
No, well, I think the first one is really good because this was the first time with whatchamacallit. This was the first time that we were dealing with Pixar and CGI and all that. That was like Pixar's first big film.
It was their first big film, and it was also it won an Oscar for, I think, their first Academy Award for, I believe it was I forget the exact Oscar, but it was like an Oscar for special achievement in something, and they did it.
Yeah, I'm just reading some of the chat right here real quick, if that's all right.
Yeah, jump on in. I'm going to keep showing the screen.
Yeah, first I want to apologize for our technical issues, Eric. It was just I hit something wrong. So That's what happened.
Don't worry about it. You're fine.
Tim Augusta. Hey, Tim? Tim's here.
Big Tim is here. Good to see you, buddy. Love to see you. Glad you can make it. Yeah, go on.
Eric, I like Toy Story 4's. I feel like Toy Story 4's ending sour the ending of 3. I 100% agree with you, Eric. I 100% totally agree with you. But like, it's like one thing I do not like about sequels, JT.
Yeah.
Is ones that are unnecessary. Like I said, we talk about the Toy Story ones. 3 ended perfectly. Why did you need to make another one?
This could be a whole conversation about unnecessary sequels too. We could be completely honest and say, well, this sequel didn't need. What sequel doesn't need to be made?
Toy Story 4 did not need to exist.
Was it good though?
I wouldn't say it was good, but I wouldn't say it was awful.
It was in the middle. Okay.
It was in the like I didn't really like the story. Like
yeah.
I could see, but here's what I think. It's like I like Key and Peele, our guest voices in that. They are absolutely freaking hilarious.
Uh-huh.
Because I love Key and Peele. They were so funny. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
Everything else, it's sort of like here's how I would explain it's kind of, I think why so many people love the Toy Story films, it's because it kind of chronicles their life in a way.
Yeah. Also, I'm just looking at the Academy Awards for a second for Toy Story 3. It was nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, it was the third animated film to be nominated for Best Picture. The other two being Beauty and the Beast and Up.
I think you know what I think. Well, I know that that would get off topic, but I was gonna say we could talk about WALL-E being nominated for I think one Best Animated Feature, but some people say it should have been a Best Picture nomination. WALL-E.
It's gonna take a while before an animated film wins Best Picture.
Yeah, I think give it time, but I think it will. Like so someone asked the question once, like, which do you think will win first, a documentary for Best Picture or an animated film? An animated film has a better shot, but as far as when will that happen, I have no idea.
But here's the thing with toys. Here's the thing with Toy Story. It kind of chronicles. It calls the people who grew up with this movie. They have a name, Andyites.
What do you mean?
Like Andy, the main character.
Yeah, I know. What do you mean though?
Because a lot of the kids when the first one came out were Andy's age. Were like Andy's age. He was like 8 in the movie, and that shows playing with your toys. And then the second one, it talks about growing up and giving away your toys, and thinking what's going to happen when the kid. Because the whole second movie was about what happens if that Andy's going to grow up. What's going to happen to Woody? What's going to happen to all the toys?
And Toy Story 3 played a big role in that.
Toy Story 3, and it feel like because most of the kids at that point who grew up with the first one, because most of them were Andy's age, they were getting ready to graduate high school, getting ready to go off to college.
Yeah.
And, even like in the fourth one, I'm not going to get into too much spoilers because I know you didn't see it. So, do you care about spoilers or?
Not really, but if you want to, you can. It's fine.
Because what happens is, here's the plot for those who didn't see it. The toys are with their new owner.
Uh-huh.
The little girl who Andy gave it to at the end of the first one.
Bonnie. Bonnie, that says Molly, but go on.
But it shows like different. It basically shows different. Whatchamacallit? It shows like different people, like of toys that didn't have owners, who are kids. That, oh, you have a kid, which is an owner, and Woody is kind of sad that Bonnie may not love him as Andy did, and we finally get to see Bo again, Bo Peep, and she's excited that she doesn't have an owner anymore because it's sort of like
I know that Bo is there.
Yeah, and there's like a toy who never had an owner, and it's like here's the thing. I'm getting a little deep here, but it's sort of like represent people at different stages of life because, like I said, with Toy Story 4, like those Andyites.
Yeah.
Maybe a good chunk of the people who are watching this, those kids may now have children of their own.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Like the people who tell Toy
may now
Story.
have children of their own.
Yeah.
And it kind of like goes through like Woody represents that overbearing empty nester, the one who for anyone who went away to college, the parent who grabs onto your leg when you get out of the car in freshman moving day,
Yeah.
who doesn't want you to leave.
Mhm.
Bo sort of represents like the empty nest, like, hey, my kids are moved out, I could just go and have fun.
Yeah.
And like the baby doll who wants to have an owner kind of represents like maybe someone who really badly wants to have children but can't, maybe because they're infertile or any other reason. But it kind of represents different stages of life, letting go.
Yeah.
And who knows that a movie about talking toys could be so deep and philosophical.
Yeah, who would have thought? Listen, I don't want to spend too much time on Toy Story, but I will say this: is that the franchise is very good. John Lasseter, a genius at Pixar and all that stuff. And
Oh, your dad's watching.
thanks for letting me know. Anyways, so I have. Do I want to keep going on like sequels, or do you want to talk about like unnecessary sequels? In my opinion.
Why don't you get the ball rolling on unnecessary sequels?
Well, I'm not going to say unnecessary sequels. Let me get out of that for a second. I'm not going to say unnecessary sequels, but I'm going to say sequels that are here, that are coming basically so late in the game. What do I mean by that? Well, Bill, let me explain something. We've talked a little bit about this franchise at one point. I think it was our Halloween episode. I'm also going to talk about one more too.
What, Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters Afterlife and Top Gun Maverick. Listen, people. Listen carefully. I'm going to share my screen with everyone. Ta-da. All right. So here's the thing. Ghostbusters Afterlife. I love the premise. I love the idea. I love how they put it into a modern context, and it's still Ghostbusters 3. But at the same exact time, this movie should have come out and like they should have continued. I hate to be the Debbie Downer here, but Ghostbusters 3 should have come out in 1992. Ghostbusters 4 should have come out. They should have kept it going like that if they could have. But now I see their point though. Like it's like a sequel. The reboot movie doesn't exist anymore. I get it. I actually liked a lot of it. Truthfully, I didn't love it, but it was good.
But they were also trying to do like a whole reboot thing because they had, the Ghostbusters film that came out in 2016. And then they were going to do a male one. That's been done. Studio. That's been done.
I know, it's been done.
But with Ghostbusters,
with
Ghostbusters, it's the third one.
And they're going to set up more. They're going to try and set up more movies after this one.
Oh, absolutely.
They're gonna try to set up a new like a soft reboot, a relaunch, not a reboot, a relaunch of Ghostbusters, which I'm completely fine with. I'm all for it. But at the same end, because look, if you watch the trailer, it really focuses on Egon and the fact that his daughter or grandson or whatever they are, whatever those two characters are, those are probably going to be the new people fighting ghosts, and it's unbelievable. I love the trailer though that came out though for it. It was fantastic. However, listen, this movie should have come out at least 10, 20 years ago, maybe 30 years ago. Because 30 years ago, it was 1990. And the last Ghostbusters film that came out in this series was 1989. And Bill Murray originally said, I don't want to do it. And then they're like, well, we don't want to do it if Bill Murray doesn't want to do it. All the cast members are still there. Then they said, okay, let's do this. Let's bring back Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, Sigourney Weaver, Annie Potts have all been confirmed to be in this movie. So it's a direct sequel from Ghostbusters 2. It looks hella good. Plus, you have the original director's son directing it. So I got a lot of faith in this movie, and it looks really good. I'm not gonna hate on the Ghostbusters reboot that came out in 2016.
Oh, so many people have already hated on that. It's too.
You're wasting your money and wasting your style and life if you're gonna hate on that more. It was okay for what it was, but it was not great. I actually walked out of the theater liking it, but as over time, like we didn't need that. So regardless, unnecessary sequel number 1, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Unnecessary sequel number 2, if I can get to it, is this. I love Top Gun. I love that movie, but this movie does not need to happen. Top Gun 2? Top Gun came out in 1986. Come on, people. We don't need Ghostbusters. We don't need Top Gun 2. It's a fantastic idea. I love the concept behind it, how Maverick is now like one of the flight instructors now. He's no longer a hotshot pilot. Apparently Val Kilmer's back in it, last I heard. They got him. Did they get him back? Yeah, Val Kilmer is back as Iceman. He got so fat over the years. I don't mean to push anyone's buttons, but Bill, if you look up a picture of Val Kilmer now, he really went from the Iceman to the ice cooler. So
ooh, not that we're body shaming anyone here, folks.
Not trying to, but he really was like, he was a ripped dude, and then oh God, I don't know. I'm curious to see Val Kilmer because he was also Batman. We can talk about that in a second too.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that, of course. We'll talk about anything, but
but
I know with unnecessary sequels, like
Bill, I'm not going to cut you, but what's your opinion of like Ghostbusters 3 and Top Gun Maverick coming out? You know, like what's your opinion?
The thing is, why do here's one of my gripes with sequels. Why do it like many, many years later?
Oh, it's 30 years later. The ghosts are coming back. Well, technically the video game did that too for Ghostbusters. Top Gun Maverick, this movie didn't even have to come out. Like, it doesn't have to be made.
Like that, that's the problem. Sequels that just didn't need to be made.
Yeah.
Like that's like the main problem with sequels is why pick it up like 30 years later?
I don't know. And my whole thing is like, look, if you're gonna do also, but I will say this: the one sequel that was gonna come out, the one sequel that was gonna come out. And by the way, check on the chat board when I'm done saying this because I thought this was brilliant. They should have done this at least 5 to 10 years ago, like right around the time when Predators came out. But there was supposed to be an Alien 5. Now, hear me out for a second. This caught my attention really quick. Alien 5 was supposed to come out, and it was supposed to be about a direct sequel ignoring 3 and 4. It was going to come right off Aliens. We talked about that at one point, too. That was a sequel I was actually looking forward to because Sigourney Weaver is going to come back. They were going to bring back, what's his name? Michael Biehn, who I actually met. He was really nice. He was kind of a druggie at the same time. He's a really cool, though, guy. Anyways, like it's the concept of a long-term sequel is a new trend in Hollywood, I would like to say, because like, oh, let's make a sequel to Ghostbusters. Let's make a sequel to Back to the Future. Let's make a sequel to Risky Business. You know, like, come on, like, go down the franchise of Beverly Hills Cop 4. Come on, they did 3 of them. We don't need Beverly Hills Cop 4. Good Christ. Anyways.
Yeah, it's absolutely, yeah. I don't like when people go years later and make a sequel. Like, did we really? It's like, their story's kind of wrapped up. Why are we doing this? But I think it's ridiculous. Okay, but you know what's a movie franchise that really didn't need to make sequels?
Monsters Incorporated, because we gotta talk about that in a second.
Yeah, okay. I did not see Monsters University, Andrew, or whoever said it. Eric
said that.
Eric, I did not see Monsters University, so I can't really speak to that matter. But
that's not the problem.
It's
more of a prequel too. I mean, if I may just shed some light on that, Monsters University is more of a prequel.
It is actually. It shows how Mike and Sully, they met in college and all that.
Yeah. Oh, let's go. Look,
when I heard it's just like a giant parody of like 80s college movies.
Basically, in Pixar's form. Pixar, I love Pixar. They need to step up.
I do too.
I think, but I will say the biggest cash grab that the Pixar ever made was making Cars 1, 2, and 3. Unnecessary franchise. Hysterical to make fun of, but a really bad franchise.
It is a really bad franchise. I don't think I've seen Cars 1. I think I've seen Cars 1. I didn't see the other 2.
Oh, wait. I shouldn't say that because listen, Cars 3, I really liked.
No, yeah, because I've heard people say that they did like Cars 3, but I heard Cars 2 is like universally hated.
It was like the worst bash sequel of any Pixar movie ever, probably. Like Cars 1 and 2 were a step back. Cars 3, people need to understand something. Cars 3 it actually had a lot of upside to it. Like the Lightning, because for those who don't know, Lightning, like a lot of Lightning. Ka-chow! Lightning McQueen's racers, but like his other race car friends are starting to retire, which signifies there's no Cars 4 in the works. You know what I mean? But I will say this: Cars 3, I saw it in the theaters, and I honestly actually had a fun time. I can't believe I'm saying that about Cars, but I go watch our Super Review Show review of Cars 3. I think it came out 2017. Is that right? Yeah.
2017, yes.
Yeah. So look, that movie, I actually really like that movie.
Cars. Can I get back to what I was saying about unnecessary sequels?
What?
Can I get back to what my unnecessary sequels are?
Yeah, go ahead. I went off on a tangent there. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
All the Jaws sequels.
Oh, now we got to talk about Jaws. You're killing
me. The first one is a classic. Jaws. Like this, it was basically the unnecessary sequel to the unnecessary sequel to the unnecessary sequels.
Oh my God! No, you're absolutely right. Now, I'm going to share the screen for a second.
So what is the shark made of freaking Teflon or something? It blows up and it comes back. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God! Oh, by the way, and just really quick, Eric is saying in the chat board, Cars 2, the only Pixar movie with a rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really? I did not know that, Eric.
That's funny. Good.
Thank you for teaching me something today, Eric. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Eric. Shout out to Eric. All right, Jaws. Holy shit. We don't listen. Jaws. Hold on. Where's the franchise stuff? Look, also the budget was $9 million. It made $500 million. This is ridiculous. Cars 2 is poor. Thanks, Dad.
Well, don't forget, Jaws was the first summer blockbuster
ever. Before Star Wars. Star Wars came out in 77. This is 75. Where is the franchise part of this? I'm on the Wikipedia page. Hold on.
Like Blockbuster. Jaws was the one that started. Jaws was the one that started the summer blockbuster.
It was. Now, here's the thing. Let me read this. You want to talk about Jaws sequels? Hold on, ready? Jaws spent 3 sequels to declining critical favor and commercial performance. I mean, they all sucked. Their combined domestic grosses amounted to the bare half of the first film. The first film made about $400 million. In October 1975, Steven Spielberg declared the films to a film festival that the making of a sequel is just anything but a cheap, carny trick. True. Nonetheless, he did consider taking on the first sequel to the original director, John Hancock, which is actually weird how that said it is, was fired. John Hancock was fired a few days into the shoot, ultimately in his obligations to Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which he was working on with Dreyfuss, made it impossible. Jaws 2, 1978, unnecessary sequel. Unnecessary.
Spielberg didn't do any of the sequels.
I know did he do Jaws 2?
No, he didn't.
And then Jaws 3D was 83. Where was Jaws the Revenge was 87. No one has ever heard of them.
And did you know for a year Jaws 2 was like the highest grossing sequel until Rocky 2 the next year?
Really?
Yep.
And Roy Scheider actually was facts. These are facts. Jaws 2. Look at this. Let's go to the Wikipedia page while I'm sharing the screen with the world. Oh my God, this just looks awful. Like, plus, didn't the shark blow up in the first Jaws? Like, doesn't
yeah. Smile, you son of a bitch! Boom.
Made money.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water.
Exactly. Look at that budget. Look, you see this? The budget was $30 million. The box office was $208 for Jaws 2.
They still made a decent profit.
They made much. That's a huge profit. Are you kidding me? Now Jaws.
Well, the second film. Well, don't forget the first film was only had a $9 million budget and made like almost $500 million.
Now, look, Jaws 3. I don't know why they made a fourth one because this one the budget was $18 million, and the box office was $88. So it literally made under $100 million.
Like it made back its money, but it's still like. Here's the thing, though. People are thinking like bigger. People are thinking better, more money, better film. Not necessarily the case.
Yeah, no way. By the way, Jaws 4 Okay, the budget was 23 million and it made 50 million.
Wah, wah,
So no one cared about it. 1987.
wah, 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 wah.
Also, it's funny. Just a plug for the Jaws franchise as a whole. In Back to the Future 2, when they go to the future, they show Jaws like 29 or whatever in the theater, and then they remember that part.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because they're both Universal properties.
So hey, shout out to Jaws. Stop making so many damn sequels.
Yeah, I almost want to see them.
Just out of curiosity.
Just out of complete curiosity to see what it was like to see this awful franchise from a great movie. Jaws one.
That really shows you that the first one, it's one of those franchises where only the first one is good. The rest of them are crap.
Oh, Eric just pointed something out too. A movie making money doesn't mean it's good. The Transformers sequels are proof of that. We got to talk about Transformers.
Oh God, I've only seen one or two of them, but
I have seen, and I wish our friend Andrew could chime in on us. But he said that Bumblebee was fantastic.
I heard Bumblebee was pretty good as well.
I heard the same thing. I didn't see it, sadly. I wish I did. But like I feel like Hollywood in general is more about like the franchises nowadays. Transformers, Eric, you got me stuck on Transformers now for a second. Hold on. So
Transformers. Michael Bay, so
Michael Boo. Oh yeah.
But you know what? It's like Michael Bay is one of those things that critics do not like his movies, but they make money, so he doesn't give a shit. He's laughing his way to the bank.
Yeah, he is laughing his way to the bank.
Because even though the Transformers movies were crappy, the first one was okay, but even though they're crappy and the critics hate them,
yeah,
they do well.
I know. You know why? They put out kick-ass trailers, but that didn't work for the last Transformers movie they did. They did Transformers The Last Night, and it made a lot of money, but
critics hated it.
But in comparison to the other movies, it did not make a lot of money. Like, for instance, it made $600 million worldwide on a budget of 260, whereas Transformers: Age of Extinction, which I saw in theaters, and I couldn't believe. I was like, what am I doing here? It made $1 billion on the same budget. So they're basically their film. And the best way, fun fact, to all of you people who are wondering, how do I do this? How do I tell theaters the theaters are ruining? It's not the theaters, the movie companies, Universal, Paramount. The best way to communicate your money to the studios is to buy independent film tickets. Is to not spend money on Transformers because the box office is a direct response to the movie production company. That's the best way to communicate to a theater. It's not a theater. You know what I mean? Like, Bill, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So the best way to communicate to a movie production company, is the best way to do so is to not go see the movie. If you don't like the movie, don't go see it because if you give them your money, they'll make more of it. See what I'm saying?
Exactly. But it's like the one I saw one of them in theaters, which was Dark in the Moon.
Oh, I like that one.
Oh, God, I was so bored.
It got boring eventually.
It was so long. I remember I was in Jersey with some people. My brother had a baseball tournament. Game got rained out. Let's go see a movie. I saw it. I was falling. I was like, oh my God, this movie's so boring.
I know. The Age of Extinction was pretty boring, but Dark of the Moon was like literally once you get past 3, like forget about the human characters because the human characters are what sell the movie too, in a sense, aside from the giant robots.
But I'll tell you this though, what the Transformer sequels gave us though.
What?
Here's a good thing. They gave us a good soundtrack to some of the Linkin Park songs from those are pretty good.
Yeah, oh, that's right.
Like the song "What I've Done."
Yeah,
What I've done. That song. Rest in peace, Chester Bennington. We miss you. But yeah, Michael Bay is just explosions. Megan Fox's ass. What every teenage boy wants to see. Explosions in Megan Fox's ass.
And once once Sam Witwicky, stupid name. Once the Shia LaBeouf character lost his girlfriend or whatever, they switched his to the Victoria's Secret model. Like, this is just a money making scheme.
Everything's a money-making scheme.
Every movie ever is that, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Here's something that I want to talk about with just sequels in general. Maybe some of them are unnecessary. We'll see where this goes. And this is actually a franchise that one of the movies that we reviewed, the Rocky franchise and the sequels.
It's funny you say that. Let me look that up. Let's see, Rocky. The film series of Rocky. Let's see. They're all great movies. No doubt about it, though. Except for Rocky 5.
I actually don't think Rocky 5 is that bad.
It's okay. It's not great.
And Tommy Morrison, may he rest in peace.
Yeah, a real life boxer too.
But like, here's the thing, though. It's like most people like the first one and the second one. Because there was a big tonal change in the series, because the first one and second one were more serious and more,
The first two were. The first one won Best Picture at the Oscars. The second one was a very, very, very solid film on its own. It could have been a Best Picture nomination, truthfully.
And I'm like, but then like, here's what happened. After Rocky 1, Stallone took over the director's chair,
and he made it whatever it was.
And like the second one, he tried to stay in the spirit of the first one, which he did. But then you have Rocky 3 and 4, which I love 4. 3, I'll admit, it's a guilty pleasure. It's a little campy, but
3 is not that campy. Stop it.
Well, what, Thunder Lips with what's his face, Hulk Hogan? You don't think that's campy?
That part, but the overall,
the fans are angry too.
Look at this.
I would have paid to see Mr. T and Hulk Hogan fight in that.
Oh my God, that'd be great.
And then it just but I think why so many people hate Rocky 5 is because then people were getting used to the fast pace of 2, 3, and 4. Well, not so much 2. 2 was more in the same pace as the first one. But then John Alverson, who directed the first one, came back, and then
oh my God,
it went back to the slower pace. And I liked the whatchamacallit, the fight, the street fight in Rocky 5. I gotta say, my favorite is Rocky 4.
Yeah.
If I were to rank them, here's how I would rank them all: 4, 1, 2, 3, Rocky Balboa, and Rocky 5.
Really?
Yeah. That's how I would rank them. Like, listen, even though I do like Rocky 5, it's like what I say about The Godfather 3, which were released in the same year, by the way.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
They were both released in 1990. But, like, here's the thing, though. Rocky 5 and Godfather 3, I like them, but I admit out of the series, they're the weakest.
Yeah.
They're the weakest out of the whatchamacallit, out of the series. But like, here's another thing. And then it goes into a new series, Creed.
And the funny you said, because I just pulled up the Wikipedia page while we're talking about it. Creed 3 is currently in development. It's currently looking for something to do. I'm not sure how they're going to do it.
Look what it says underneath. I'm reading this right now. If you don't mind, if you could just. Are you? That's a stupid idea.
Unnecessary sequel. We don't need
let me tell you. Okay, for those of you who haven't seen, minor spoilers. Okay, for those of you who haven't seen Creed, it's now years later.
Yeah.
Kid named Adonis Johnson, who is the illegitimate son of Apollo Creed.
Correct.
Who wants to get into boxing, and he seeks out Rocky.
Yeah.
To train him. And Adonis, who's played by Michael B. Jordan, by the way, who's like one of my favorite actors.
Fantastic.
So he's training him and, other stuff, which I'm not going to get into because it's a spoiler. They, tries to train him to fight. And then the second one, I remember after Creed 1, Justin and I were saying, you know what? leave this movie alone. Don't make any more sequels. You're just going to turn this into another Rocky.
Mm.
And then they announced Creed 2, and I'm like, no. And then when they were making Creed 2, they were going to announce that Dolph Lundgren was coming back as Drago from Rocky 4, and he was going to fight. I'm thinking, what is he going to fight? Whatchamacallit? Is he going to fight Creed? Is he going to fight him? And I'm like, oh God, and then they bring in his son, Drago's son, Victor Drago. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I saw the trailer. I watched the trailer and I'm thinking, okay, you know what? Maybe this could work. This could work. And you know what? I'm going to say this. Creed 2 is a surprise sequel. What I mean by that is, like, when at first I was like, no, this is a stupid idea. This is a bad idea. But then when I said that he was going to be fighting Drago's son, I'm like, okay, you know what? This could work. This could work. This could work. And you know what? It worked.
It was, and
I actually liked it. I really liked Creed 2. But, like, here's the problem, though, with Creed 3. I just read, can you scroll up a little bit?
Yeah, hold on.
Just to,
Creed, like the Creed 3 stuff? Hold on. There you go.
Okay, I'm reading this right now. Confirmed that there are ongoing discussions regarding the third Creed film. That same month, professional boxer Deontay Wilder announced plans to begin a career in acting, stating that, oh God, if they do this, this is a horrible idea.
Really?
Because let me tell you, Creed 2 made sense because, spoiler for those who didn't see Rocky 4, Drago kills Apollo Creed.
Yeah, it was a great.
That makes sense. Then Adonis, Creed's son, he wants revenge. That makes sense. This doesn't. Like, what did Clubber Lang do? He made some, in Rocky 3, he made some snarky comment to him and Apollo lost his shit. You know what he did him? He was rude. And he was very rude. I'm like, reading this, I'm like pissed. I'm furious right now. Like, this is stupid. And whoever greenlit this should not have a career in film right now. This is a dumb idea. This is a freaking dumb idea. And also, I'm reading this one.
The TBA Untitled Rocky film?
Sly, we love you. We love you, Sly, but it's time to hang it up. Or don't do another Rocky film, because the Creed franchise was about Rocky Stallone going from, like, the main star to a more supporting role.
Yeah, and also, like, do you see what was beneath this? Television.
God, they're trying to milk this shit, aren't they?
Oh my God, it's one fucking character.
You know what I would have liked to see?
What?
How about, like, an Apollo prequel?
Look, if you're gonna build out the franchise, build it out differently. Do something else. I don't know.
Like, I think an Apollo Creed sequel wouldn't be too bad. What do you think?
No, Creed 3, I'm totally down for.
I'm not.
I know you're not.
This is a stupid idea, and whoever greenlit this again should not have a job right now. But you know what? Like I said, who knows? I didn't like the idea of a Creed 2, but I ended up liking it.
Watch, you're gonna like Creed 3.
Watch what's gonna happen. I'm gonna sit there. No, this movie's gonna be shit. And then when I watch it, I'm gonna be, and then I'm gonna be, it was actually good. Okay, I want to give a special shout out right now to somebody who's actually texting me during all this.
Okay.
That is my good friend Mark Halpern, aka Old Ops Guy.
Hey.
He's been on my sports podcast plenty of times. I told him about this one. He's a big movie nerd. Great guy. I'm reading what he texted me right now. It said, number one, it makes great sense for Creed to knock out Drago's son. I just said that. However, as a person who watched the Rocky franchise from start to finish, I think it's a reach where they're going to try to go with it. And excuse me, there's more. I just got my damn phone.
Yeah, whatever.
I think it's a reach of where they're trying to go with it. If they're gonna go with an idea of Creed now going after Clubber Lang's nephew or something, then it's stupid. End it with the second movie because it was a good end. Exactly. Mark just said everything. Mark, you are 100% correct.
They're going to milk the cow.
Don't that's the thing with a lot of these sequels. They end perfectly. And they said, we were talking about this when we talked about Toy Story. Toy Story 3 ended perfectly. It didn't need another one.
Yeah,
and this one, Creed. Okay, Creed necessarily didn't need a sequel, but Creed 2 was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
But do we really need a Creed 3? Here's the thing. The studio, in their infinite wisdom, yeah, guys, sometimes I can be very anti-studios, but in their infinite bureaucratic wisdom,
yeah,
they think, hey, they're trying to turn Creed into the next Rocky.
They might.
Trying to turn it into a next Rocky. Like, okay, we just did an unnecessary sequel that actually did good. Now let's make out another unnecessary sequel. And then let's do another unnecessary sequel. And then another one. And another one. And we're going to be swimming in cash. And the cash cow. Let's boo it. Listen to its musical boos. Listen to it. It's beautiful. Like, you know why they do sequels.
To make money.
All right. So what do you want to talk about next before I give myself a stroke?
All right. Relax there, sir. What other sequels? Oh, you know what? I think my cousin's watching. Hold on.
Hey, JT's cousin. Whatever your name is.
Cousin-in-law. Hold on.
Cousin-in-law.
Avatar.
Okay, a few things from Eric. Well, actually, one thing from Eric. I can't wait for them to make 4 more Creed movies and then have them train someone. Yeah, that's what we're going to do, Eric.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Okay, so.
Future. Hold on 1 second. So. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share with you the screen in a second if I can get to it. Home release theme. Okay. Did they get rid of Avatar 4?
I think they're going to make some of them back to back.
I mean, well, listen. I liked the film. It was a good. I'll be
honest, I tried to sit through it. I couldn't.
You couldn't? Jake Sully, was that his name? Sam Worthington played him.
I think so, but it's just like one of those stories that we've heard over and over and over.
Yeah, look. However, James Cameron said that he talked to Fox, and he did want to greenlit. They greenlit this, right? They greenlit their the sequels. But I think they're going to film them all at once and release them separately, though. Hold on.
Like, I've seen some of the film, and I got to admit, visually, it's amazing.
Oh, it is. Hold on. Let me see.
All right. Mark is joining in on the fun now. Yeah. All the Avatar movies.
Tell Mark to join in the chat board.
Mark, if you want, buddy, join in on the chat board.
Yeah, don't be afraid. We don't bite.
We don't bite. Like,
Bill might, but.
Nah, he knows me. Like, when he can, we watch football like every Sunday when it's me and the guys that do the podcast with. So he knows me pretty well by now.
Yeah.
But all the Avatar movies are almost done filming. 3 and 4 are going to be released, I believe, in 2021 and 2022.
Okay, this is what it says here. This is the last updated stuff I have. They're going to do 4 Avatar sequels? So there's going to be 5 films? Shit.
Money. Well, I remember when, whatchamacallit,
What? Hold on 1 second. No.
Actually, wait, Mark. Mark, if you're watching, they changed the release dates. They pushed everything back. They
filmed
December 20, which was the first one, which was supposed to come out in 2021. The first sequel is now coming out in 2022. The second one, which was supposed to come out, the next one, which was supposed to come out in 2022, is now coming out in 2023 because due to the pandemic, everything got delayed and they pushed everything back a year.
Yeah, this one is this 2022. Hold on, and then look. Okay, so Avatar 2. Here's the thing. So they took off 4 and 5, but let's face it. If Avatar 2 and 3 make money, there's gonna be a 3 and a 4 and a 5. Matt, welcome back.
Hey, Matt's back.
Join the chat board.
Matt, I think Avatar sequels will be a disaster. The original came out over 10 years ago, and it's better. I agree. Well, because I remember that movie came out in 2009.
It did.
And I remember that movie was everywhere.
Yeah.
That movie was freaking everywhere.
Yeah, they really, yeah.
Everybody was talking about it, of how great it was.
I liked it. It was a pretty long movie, too.
But you know what? Like, the thing is, it's like when it first came out, everybody was talking about it. Everybody thought it was great. But then when you kept watching it, you're like, eh? I think as more people watched it, they like, if you go on any list on the internet of top 10 most overrated movies, 9 times out of 10, Avatar is either in the top 5 or number 1.
Really? I've never looked that up, to be honest with you.
Like, Avatar is like in the top 5 or even number 1. But yeah, Matt, if you're watching again, I don't know how this is gonna be. Because like I said, first when it came out, everybody was talking like James Cameron has been working on this film for over a decade.
Since Titanic.
Yeah, we want to talk about overrated movie. You know what? That could be another show.
Overrated.
That could be another show.
Overrated. Well,
yeah.
Our next. I saw Avatar in theaters and I thought it was super boring. Matt, I didn't see it in theaters, but you know.
But visually, you have to admit it looks great.
It was pretty good, to be honest with you. The visuals were fantastic.
JT, can you still hear me?
Yeah, why?
I don't know. My computer's acting a little funny, so.
Bill, get it right. I'm kidding, bud. I love you.
Okay, we're good.
It looked cool too. Also, the reason why I made so much money is because of the CG 3D was just coming out too, and the 4D experiences was just coming out too.
It just looked amazing.
And it was okay.
But then I think people just caught on saying the story is not that good.
Yeah. By the way, we just talk about James Cameron for 2 seconds. The guy's directed 8 films.
Only 8? He's only directed 8?
He's directed Terminator 1, Terminator 2, True Lies. What's the other one?
Did he direct any of the Alien movies or?
Aliens, Titanic, and Avatar. That's it.
He hasn't directed any movie since Avatar.
I don't think so. No, I haven't checked. Anyways, just want to let you know. He's directed like the greatest films of all time.
It's like all you need is 8 movies and you're good to go.
Yeah, instead of directing 30 like Steven Spielberg, he's done a pretty good job.
But it's like here's what I heard. On a Sunday night in 1998, James Cameron wins Best Picture for Avatar. That Monday morning, for Titanic, sorry.
Yeah, for Avatar.
That Monday morning, he starts working on Avatar.
He took him a long time.
But I don't know where this could go. And again, James Cameron probably wants to just make more money.
Bill, check the chat board.
Oh, we got some stuff going on the chat board? Okay. Yeah. Hey, Mark, a.k.a. Old Laps Guy. I believe that the extension is going to be a 5th film, and total problem is with everything going on in the world. It's going to be delayed as it's going to be. I agree. But, yeah, we got to see what goes on with that. So, okay, what other sequels can we chat about here? Did you want to say anything more about Avatar? Are you ready to move on?
I'm ready to move on. If anyone else, you know what we could do?
What?
A sequel. I have an idea.
Okay.
Live on YouTube. Just bear with me for a second. Do the Jeopardy theme for a second.
Okay, let's see.
No,
Mark, yes, I agree. I believe that the extension is going to be a fifth film and a total problem with everything going on in the world. Okay, that could be interesting.
He's got a fair point. Bad.
Avatar is kind of super boring.
Which one?
Avatar, it's kind of super boring, as Matt would say.
I mean, it is, yes, but it depends on
You know
who
what
you
it's
are.
like? It's like that girl in high school who you had a gigantic crush on because you thought she was like super attractive. But then once you got to know her, she has like the personality of a paper bag. She has like the personality of a paper bag.
I love your analogies. It's so funny. All right, here we go.
That's Avatar.
Ta-da!
The Dollars trilogy.
Now, okay. I got to go off on this for a second because let's face it. The first two films, the first film was A Fistful of Dollars, right? Clint Eastwood. Fantastic, fantastic movie. I've seen all three.
You know, I'm gonna make a lot of enemies when I'm about to say I've never seen them.
The only one you really need to see is this one.
Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
Yeah, it's one of the best movies of all time. But the Man with No Name trilogy, people forget this. It's a trilogy. Everyone knows the third film. The third film is the most well known. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
So, okay, look, for A Fistful of Dollars with Clint Eastwood. For A Few Dollars More was the next year with Clint Eastwood again. Then The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So that's interesting how it's the last movie, but it's the most well-known, and it's the last film in that series or that franchise or that sequel. You know, it
is usually. What's funny is it's actually the trilogy film that's like the most popular. It does the most good. Because usually I feel with trilogies, and you can talk more about that, and then that'll commence into something else that I have in mind. But it's usually like with trilogies, the first one's usually the best. The second one is usually good, not as good as the first one, with a few exceptions. Those being Godfather 2, The Empire Strikes Back, Terminator 2, The Dark Knight.
Stop.
Oh, you knew that was coming.
Yeah, but like, listen.
The third one is usually like there's very rare exceptions, but we'll get to those exceptions in a second if you want. But go on.
It's just interesting to see how the first movie is not that well known. The second movie is kind of well known, but the third movie is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Really?
The third one, The Good, and just watch the chat board for me as well. Your friends are chatting away. I'll get to them in a second. But the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen, to be honest with you. I've seen it once, and I was floored by it. Plug for our movie commentary on the Super Review Show. We did do movie commentary of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And honestly, that was my first ever viewing of it, and I loved it. I loved it so much. And this is after seeing the first two ahead of time and then going into it, which I thought was great. But this one, it's so unique how the first two films you don't really know about. Then
that is weird.
Third film.
I never even heard of the other two.
That's my point. But you've heard of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly because you know film and whatnot.
Yeah, everyone knows the good. Like that's the one that most people know.
Yeah,
is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah, the whole and that ending is fantastic. The trailer for it. If you go on YouTube, watch the trailer for it. That standoff at the end is fantastic. And I'm not going to give it away, but it's fantastic. It's one of the best endings of a trilogy I think ever, in my opinion. More so than Back to the Future or Lord of the Rings or like stuff like that. But this trilogy gets overlooked a lot, in my opinion.
Because a lot of people just think of the third one when they think of The Man with No Name.
They think of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly as a standalone film. And
no, listen, I didn't even know it had like two beforehand. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Also, and that's the beautiful thing about this trilogy. A lot of people forget it's a trilogy, but because I don't know, it's amazing to me how, like It's amazing to me how the people just forget about. And Sergio Leone directed the whole thing. Sergio Leone directed all 3 films perfectly. He really did. And look at this. Look at the critical reception of this. 98, 91, and 97
Wow.
on Rotten Tomatoes.
All right, I just want to read you some what we got in the chat board.
Yeah, I see that they're going off in there. What's going on?
Okay, Mark, do not start with The Godfather. There is rarely a movie history where the sequel is better. Godfather 2 is better than Godfather 1. Debatable. I do like Godfather 2.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 was a mistake. If you were watching what I said earlier, Mark, I actually don't think 3 is that bad. Not as good as the other 2, but I don't think it's that bad. And
It's under
one of the best movie lines comes from The Godfather 3. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. And Matt, oh boy, JT, he's going to set you off. The Dark Knight is my favorite sequel of all time.
Lies. No, I'm kidding. For those of you who watch me for any period of time, the whole thing with me and the Dark Knight trilogy, I don't like Christopher Nolan at all. I really wish he would try some other things, to be honest with you. That's a very unpopular opinion. Plug for our other show. I don't like Nolan. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but he's just so he's one tone. He's one this, one that. And I really wish he would step out of his comfort zone and direct a comedy or something. That's my 2 cents. Don't kill me.
But here's what I will say about the Dark Knight trilogy, just because we've talked about
this. It's a very good trilogy too. If you want to,
I think Batman Begins. I think it's a good starting point. You see more of what happens.
Yeah, keep talking.
Of how he became Batman, with Ra's al Ghul and the League of Shadows. And I think that was really good. I think it's just a really good starter point.
Yeah.
I think, and I also really liked John. I also really liked Cillian Murphy. Yes.
Yes, I bought the collector set though.
I liked Cillian Murphy as the Scarecrow.
He played a very good role too.
What was that?
He played a good job in the franchise too. The 3 films. And
it's actually funny. You want to hear something? When I went to see when I went to see The Dark Knight Rises in 2012, we'll talk about that movie in a minute. But
yeah, go ahead.
They were doing a Christopher Nolan. They were doing a Christopher Nolan Batman marathon. They showed Batman Begins, and they showed The Dark Knight, and then they showed The Dark Knight Rises.
Really?
And the scene when Jonathan Crane is first in the when he's in the mental asylum and he uses the fear gas. When did the nut take over the nut house? Sometimes they scream. And he goes, sometimes they scream and cry.
Yeah.
I think that movie on the big screen, that scene on the big screen is absolutely terrifying.
Oh, I'm sure it is. It's absolutely terrifying.
And here's what else I'm going to say about. But yeah, I think that was the perfect starting point. In The Dark Knight, do we need to even more say about it? I think Heath Ledger's Joker is fantastic. Christian Bale's Batman, I like him, but the voice, it just drives me insane.
Indeed, pasta. Give me a break.
But
this is just my collector set. I'm just showing everyone.
Yeah, but like you said, and listen, I'm not gonna spend too much time on The Dark Knight because we talked about that extensively last week when we were talking about franchises. So if you want more detail, go watch that because I don't want to repeat myself. But I think it was a good sequel. I really like Heath Ledger, and yeah. But you know what? A lot of people are gonna ask though, JT. Do you think maybe just random question here? Do you think Heath Ledger do you think that movie was only notable because of Heath Ledger's death?
I think, as much as I don't like the film, I will acknowledge the fact that Heath Ledger made that movie what it is. Because he won the Oscar for it, and I think it also won Best Sound Editing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
Also, this is signed by Christopher Nolan. This is part of it. Not literally, I think it's just a printout, but I'm just showing you guys, as I'm talking about the Dark Knight trilogy. Jesse Orrs, if you're out there, please watch this. like it came with all these cars and it's photographs and stuff too. Hold on. The Dark Knight, it's a cop movie with Batman in it. It's not a bad movie. I have issues with it, but that's me personally. That's all my personal thing. Overall I like the film. Heath Ledger, though, despite him being dead, he did deserve the Oscar that he won that year. He did. He deserved it because no one. Here, look at this. These are the different villain cards that came with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you more in a second. But there's Ra's al Ghul, Liam Neeson, Scarecrow.
Yeah.
He's really listen. Let's talk about it right now. He did an excellent job as talking about Heath Ledger. I know we're getting a little off topic, but Heath Ledger's Joker, he won that Oscar because he delivered such a performance that no one else would have given. Jared Leto is another Joker. Jack Nicholson was the 80s Joker, but he was that Joker. And he perfected that role.
Because you know what? It's because it's kind of like the different tones with the Batman franchises. Like you have the Tim Burton tone, which is more dark and so comic booky, and then you have the Joel Schumacher, which is more
I'm surprised Catwoman's not in this.
But then you have the Christopher Nolan, which is the more realistic type. Because a lot of some of the villains in the other ones can't exist in the Nolan Batman because.
Oh, I haven't even opened this up yet, but here's the little toy cars.
Ooh, nice.
So there's something.
But I also want to talk about.
Go ahead. Talk about something else.
But no, I was just about to talk about The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah. Okay. What is it?
What did you think of the movie?
I thought it was a very good. Listen, the last 10 minutes completely lost me. The rest of the movie was very good.
Here's the thing.
Because JGL is not Robin. We all know that.
I think that was just like a fan service, in all honesty.
It's so stupid. That was one of the stupidest things they did.
He's not Robin. That was like what I like to call fan service. Like it was more
not
like
Robin.
An homage.
He's not Robin, everyone.
No, he isn't. I just told you he isn't.
I know. JGL was not Robin at the end of the. We're turning into the Batman show. JGL was not Robin at all. He was not Robin. He was set up to be this new. None of this crap. And then people think, oh, well, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's going to come back. Look, it's been about 8 years since the movie came out and nothing happened. So take off your diaper, put on your underwear, and realize you're fine.
Well, here's what I think about The Dark Knight Rises. Of the trilogy, I'm going to be straight up honest. Of the trilogy,
it's a very good trilogy.
Here's how I would rank them. I would put Dark Knight as number 1.
A lot of people would.
I would put Batman Begins as number 2.
A lot of people do that too.
And I would put Dark Knight Rises at number 3. Here's what I got to say about The Dark Knight Rises. When I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, this was so great. But then, here's a funny thing. I watched him. Doug Walker did a review of it, and he said he hated it. And I'm like, oh, you're stupid. You don't know what I do. And as much as I love Doug Walker, I'm like, you have no idea what the hell you're talking about. But then when I watched it again, I started seeing more of the flaws of the movie.
Yeah.
I started seeing more of the flaws. And I still like it, but and then I went back and watched Doug's review again, and I'm thinking, okay, he's right on that one. Kind of right on that one. He's right on that one. And I don't think it's bad. I think for what it's worth, JT, I think it wrapped up the series well, though. I think it wrapped it up fine.
Yeah, I mean, it was a perfect wrap up.
I think it was a good. I wouldn't say perfect. I think it was maybe perfect, but I think it was a good conclusion.
Yeah.
To the series, but it's. Yeah, but I remember when you were saying about JGL. Is he Robin? Is he Robin? I was even thinking, is he? But then I'm thinking, okay, it was probably just because Christopher Nolan has said,
he's gone on record to say it's over. So,
but Christopher, JGL says, Christopher Nolan was like, Robin will never be in my movie. Just Another fun theory in The Dark Knight, the series where the scene when Harvey Dent / Two-Face dies.
Oh, that was a good scene.
And his one eye is open. And whatchamacallit, what's his face? A lot of people go, oh, Two-Face is still alive, Two-Face is still alive, Two-Face is still alive. And Christopher Nolan goes, no, he's pretty much dead.
Yeah, that's...
He confirms, yeah, he's dead. And I'm like, see? Because I think in the script it read he lays there with a broken neck. It doesn't specifically say he died. But yeah, that's what I gotta say about the Nolan series. I think The Dark Knight was the best. I don't think The Dark Knight Rises is awful. But I think out of the trilogy, I will say it's the weakest. But yeah, let's go back to the chat board for a moment.
I'm checking it right now.
How do you feel about? Okay, this is kind of out of the realm of sequels, but I think it's worth a good conversation.
Yeah, because I mean, well,
you know what, Matt? We're gonna, as it says in the chat board, we're gonna save that for another show. Yeah. I'm gonna copy and paste those questions so we can talk about that.
You don't even have to because I say the live chat every time we do it.
Awesome. So, but the thing is, how do you feel about the new Batman franchise coming out?
Yeah, really.
But I think they made it too many Batman movies. I can kind of agree with you on that.
They made a lot over the years.
They tend to make. There's gonna be like 1,000 different Batman movies. Like I think he's like one of the top characters that they made the most film adaptations of.
Oh, for sure.
Like they're gonna
milk the cow.
They made so many. I don't know where they're gonna go from here. But yeah, so okay. All right, let's talk about some other sequels, or if you want to stay on trilogies, we can.
Oh, I just thought of one.
Let's hear it.
Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up really quick. You ready? I'm going to share the screen with you about how I didn't see this movie because I wanted to, though. Kind of badly.
Oh, Dumb and Dumber 2. I didn't see it.
And then in 2024, they're going to do Dumb and Dumber 3. No, I'm kidding. They're not going to do that.
I like Jeff Daniels. I do like Jeff Daniels. I told you all my thoughts on Jim Carrey last week. I'm not going to reiterate them, but I really do like Jeff Daniels.
Jim Carrey is Jim Carrey as Jim Carrey.
Yeah, that's what he is.
This was a sequel that kind of fit like a nice little thought, but was it a good idea, though? I don't know. What do you think, Bill?
I think it was a good... I haven't seen Dumb and Dumber 2, so...
Yeah, I mean, I remember the trailers and stuff for it. It looked entertaining. I mean, because like I like a lot, like Jim Carrey's just playing himself and all that stuff. But like, I don't know. This is like the 20 years later, and they are, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. This, it looked so dumb. Hence the title.
Dumb and Dumber. So it gets dumber.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber 2, and they put T-O.
Well, because they can't spell it. Get it? 2.
But
anyway, there was some other sequels I wanted to talk about. When we were on like Dark Knight, the trilogies. You know what I find interesting with trilogies? How I said usually the first one's good, second one is okay / good, and the third one is eh. I actually thought of 2 series that were actually the third one I think is the best.
What? Which one?
Well, for one of them, we are going to our good friends at the MCU.
Oh, you know what? We could talk about that too. We could talk about like.
Good. Yeah, but let me get the ball rolling, and then we'll talk more about MCU. Ready?
Yeah.
The Thor series.
The Thor series? Is that what you just said?
Thor. The first one is okay. The second one is bored as hell. But the third one, I think the third one, Thor Ragnarok, is the best of the 3.
Could you say that about Iron Man?
No.
No, I was just wondering. Like, I'm
Here's how I
curious.
would rank them. Here's how I would rank the Iron Man movies. Iron Man 1, best. Iron Man 3, I would say is okay. And Iron Man 2 is nah.
Iron Man 2 is not good.
It's not awful, but it's not good.
The weakest Marvel film. See, like I'm looking at it right now. You see this? See, like here we go.
I see it now. Yes, we're going to, folks, we're going back to MCU land. If you don't like it, that's your issue.
Yeah.
Oh, here's something that Matt said. I generally think comedy sequels often aren't as good as any of the comedy sequels aside from Dumb and Dumber 2. Either of you have an opinion about it? I kind of agree. Sorry, we're going to Matt's question if you don't mind. If comedy sequels are just not as good as the first one, well, I agree to a point. The problem is that there are just so many times you can do the same joke.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And like let me tell you, there was this have you seen the Ted movies?
No, I haven't.
Well, let me tell you, Ted 2, I'll be honest, I didn't think it was awful, but like there was this joke that just keeps going. And the first time like, oh, that's kind of funny. The second time I was like, okay, that joke is kind of okay, we just heard it, but okay, it's still funny. And then they did it one more time, like, okay, this joke is really starting to become unfunny.
With Ted too?
Yeah, but to its credit, they do stop before the joke gets too old.
Yeah.
But there is this one part. Okay, this is a little bit messed up, but it is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the best jokes in Ted 2.
Yeah.
Best joke. They're like, you know what we should do to celebrate? Yell sad suggestions at the improv club, and they're like, hell yeah! I'm like, okay, we need an event. We need an event. And then somebody shouts, 9/11.
Oh my god.
Like it is so messed up. Because okay, a person, Robin Williams. And then they're like going, and then they're going, okay, Robin Williams on 9/11.
Jesus Christ.
And it is a messed up joke, and there is some other stuff that I'm not going to get into because it is kind of screwed up.
Yeah.
But they yell something else, and they go, okay, do you want me to say it or not? Like, up to you.
It's up to you. It's fine with me.
Okay, actually, you know what? Because it does feature someone who was accused of very serious allegations, and I think in today's climate, I shouldn't be saying it, but anyway, they say that thing, and he goes, "You're a sick man," and he goes, "We're giving you the tools, buddy. Now give us some fucking comedy." I'll tell you off camera, but
yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, I agree with you, Matt. Generally, comedy sequels are kind of bad because,
but sometimes they don't work.
Exactly.
Look at Airplane 2.
Because there's so many times you can tell certain jokes.
Look at Airplane 2.
JT, you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me that.
I haven't seen Airplane 2. I've seen Airplane 1, but I haven't seen Airplane 2.
Good. It's okay. I mean, nowadays it looks like an okay sequel, but it's not that great, to be honest with you. No, the sequel that I would love to see though is Spaceballs 2. That would be fun.
Oh, I love Spaceballs. My favorite.
Spaceballs, the movie. For those who don't know what we're talking about, I'm going to Google this. There was news back, I think in 2018, that Mel Brooks was looking at doing something. Spaceballs 2. Spaceballs, the face mask. That's funny.
You know what my favorite scene in that is? Who hired him? I did, sir. He's my cousin. Going, what's his name? He's an asshole, sir. Yeah, I know that, but what's his name? He's an asshole. Major asshole. And his cousin? First class something asshole. How many assholes do we have on this ship?
Yo!
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Look at this. Look at that. That was in New York City subways.
Really? Spaceballs? Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
But it looks so promising, though. That's the thing.
Okay, I just want to read what Matt said. Some comedy sequels include both Austin Powers sequel and Clerks 2. I actually like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, if that counts as a sequel.
Spaceballs 2, The Schwartz Awakening.
Spaceballs, the movie. Merchandising. That's where the real money is.
That's such a funny movie.
Yeah, but since they don't have a sequel, I think we should get back to sequels.
Yeah, no, but that would be a fun movie to see, though. Spaceballs 2.
That would be awesome. But we all know the best line before we move on.
Yeah.
Before you die, there's something you want to know. I am your father's uncle's nephew's cousin's former roommate. Well, what does that make us? Absolutely nothing. What you're about to be. Prepare to die.
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
But
it's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, getting back to sequels. Like I said, I think of we were talking about the MCU sequels.
Yeah.
But that's what my thoughts on Iron Man is. I think 1 is the best, 3 is second, 2 is eh. What about your thoughts on Marvel sequels or MCU?
All right. Since we have a lot of trilogies now, through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we have Iron Man 1, 2, 3, Thor 1, 2, 3, Captain America 1, 2, 3. We got all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at it. Let me help you look, because I'm going back to this. I like this little feature we have. We can do this. All right.
Isn't it great?
It's so great, everyone. Oh my god. All right. So Iron Man 2. This was the setup stuff.
Yes.
They set everything up. Honestly, I like Iron. But are we looking at trilogies or best sequels? In the Marvel.
It's up to you.
Okay. Iron Man 1 is fantastic. Iron Man 2 is okay. Iron Man 3 is very, very, very good. And a lot of people were hating on it. I actually really liked it a lot.
Really?
I
There's
cried.
an unpopular opinion.
I cried at the end. Believe it or not. Sorry, everyone. I know. Sucks to suck. Thor 1 was a lot of fun. Thor 2 was okay. Captain America, the First Avenger, fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Oh, I liked it. It was great.
I loved that movie. And it ended on such a sad note. It was such a sad ending. People forget that. Captain America, The Winter Soldier comes out in 2014. Can we acknowledge that that's a great sequel?
Oh, that was a really good sequel.
And anyways, look what happens on the third Captain America film, Captain America Civil War.
Or as we jokingly call it, Avengers 2.5.
2.5. I didn't even think of that. There's never going to be another Captain America movie with Chris Evans.
He's done.
When Guardians of the Galaxy 3 comes out, I can't wait to see that.
Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka.
Ooga. Blue Sweet, don't kill me.
But okay, this is not part of the MCU, but it's based on a Marvel comic.
Yeah.
You know what I think, like what I was saying, how it's like the reverse trilogy, how I said Thor 1 was okay, second one was garbage, third one was really good. You know what's another one? The Wolverine trilogy.
You know what? You really raise a really good point. And I have to bring that up while I'm in here. So
X-Men Origins Wolverine was just, and I saw it in theaters.
Really?
And it was so boring.
Oh.
It was such a freaking snooze fest. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Hugh Jackman, but I was just so bored.
Oh my god! And Deadpool was in it. We can't forget that.
Yeah, like there was a joke in Deadpool 2 when Ryan Reynolds is reading the screenplay for X-Men Origins Wolverine. No, wait, that was for Green Lantern. No, but Ryan Reynolds did make an appearance in
Deadpool. In Deadpool, he had the Deadpool from X-Men Origins Wolverine action figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, "Don't make my super suit green or animated," referencing to breaking the fourth wall to Green Lantern. That was so funny.
But anyway, yeah, X-Men Origins Wolverine sucked. The Wolverine I didn't think was too bad.
I liked it quite a bit. I
thought it was okay. It was good. It wasn't amazing, but
I mean, I liked it. But then Logan.
Oh, that's
an example of a trilogy that went like this. That goes like much. X-Men Origins Wolverine to the Wolverine, which I liked. I liked the Japanese element to it. I really did. I liked the samurai aspect. But then Logan came out.
And
Logan, I was crying. I'm admitting on camera that I was crying in theaters.
Oh my God, that was such an amazing. I actually got a funny story about Logan. I didn't see it in theaters, and I hadn't seen it. Well, and I'm also our dear friend Matt Hemsley can actually occur to this. Him and I were thinking about seeing it one day, and I got other plans. I got the text messages to prove it. Matt, I'm sorry, buddy. Please forgive me. I hope you please forgive me after 3 years, but I don't think you wanted to go anyway. I don't remember, Matt. It was 3 years ago, but dude, I am so sorry. But anyway, and then I bought it on whatchamacallit. I bought it on DVD.
Yeah.
And I started watching it, and then I didn't watch it anymore. And then Justin goes, "You still haven't seen it?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't." And then here's what happened. I thought I actually lost my DVD of Logan. I thought I lost it. So then one day I'm in Best Buy, and I see a Blu-ray copy of it. It was like, I don't know, it was like $5-6. I'm like, okay, I might as well pick it up. I go home, I watch it on Blu-ray, I go upstairs, I found my DVD copy of Logan, so I now have 2 copies of Logan.
Oh my God.
But I really did like Logan, and you know what? They took their R rating and they freaking owned it.
Logan showed how you can make anything work if you really put your mind to it. And they made that last Wolverine movie really work.
They made it work. And it's so funny. It's like the first one of that trilogy was the worst, and the third one was the best. And yeah, I really liked it, and I was kind of crying too when I saw the ending.
Yeah.
And Hugh Jackman, I thought he was really good as Wolverine.
Yeah, he was. I mean, let's not forget Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. He's been in all the movies. He's been in all of them.
No, I agree. He was in all of them.
Yeah.
So
even Deadpool, right?
Yeah, but it's funny with the trilogies, and since we're talking about Wolverine, have you seen what is it, X-Men Apocalypse?
I love Apocalypse.
There was a joke when they were walking out, since it was the third movie in the series. There was a joke when they were walking out, and they're like walking out of what is it, Return of the Jedi, and like, well, the third part of the trilogy isn't always that good. It's like they're poking fun at the third movies and trilogies.
I know that's always another thing too. It's like, it's not even that. Like, how many third films are great? And we just talked about a bunch of them, but still,
Like the 2 ones, okay, like this one is not a trilogy because there's 4, but some people would still consider it a trilogy because the 4th one doesn't exist. But my personal opinion, and I've talked about this before,
yeah,
the best third installment of a movie,
yeah,
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
We didn't even talk about that. You want to talk? Not too much longer, but do you want to keep talking about that for a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I got nowhere to be tonight.
Yeah.
I got no plans.
I'm not saying that I do, but I gotta get off at some point. Indiana Jones 5. No,
It's
5.
happening.
Shame.
Oh
God. All right.
But anyway, I just got like a bunch of crap to talk about, so I'm gonna try to hit it all out of the park. Yeah, Indiana Jones. Here's how I would rank them. My personal favorite is The Last Crusade.
You and my dad agree.
Hey, Mr. Mahoney, we agree on something.
Yes.
I think that one was the best. Second one, I'm going with Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay.
I think it was a really good start to the story, and I just want to say overall has like the best score ever, one of the best scores.
It does.
And I'm gonna get hated for this one. I think putting at 3, I'm gonna put Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Shame.
I didn't think it was that bad. I haven't seen it in a while, but I didn't think it was that bad when I first saw it.
It was okay.
And the worst, I'm gonna get hated for this one. I'm not a big fan of Temple of Doom.
Get off my channel.
I'm the movie Holics Mixed Bag 2.0, and Matt Hemsley's gonna be my host, my co-host. I'm just kidding.
No. But like in reality, that was just.
And Matt, you are always welcome here if you want, if that's okay with JT.
Wait, what?
If Matt wants to come on, he's welcomed, right?
Oh, of course, if he wants to.
Yeah, but anyway,
So, guest starring. So, anyways.
But anyway, I do like but I think Last Crusade is the best. And again, Sean Connery, may he rest in peace.
Yes.
And like I said, I just didn't like Temple of Doom. It was just too gory. It was one of the 2 movies that started the PG-13 rating.
Yeah, Temple of Doom and Gremlins. We talked about that.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about Gremlins around Christmas because it's kind of a Christmas movie.
I was Die Hard.
Maybe that'll be a good. You know what? We might put a poll out of what would be our Christmas special. So we'll look for that in a couple weeks, right? Look for that. We'll put out that poll, like, I don't know, late November, early December.
Yeah, I'll ask the channel what's going to happen.
Because we do got a few. God, I'm already thinking about Christmas. Can we get past Thanksgiving, please?
Thanksgiving's the most overlooked holiday in the country, dude.
It kind of is. It's like that. It's like the redheaded stepchild.
Oh God.
Between Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting back to
Indiana Jones.
I think that was the best. Like I said, those are my rankings of the movies of Indiana Jones. All right, JT, since you really loved Indiana Jones, what are your thoughts?
Well, since all of you were wondering, it only took time to, all right, here's the deal. I will acknowledge that The Last Crusade is probably the best film out of. I'm not including Crystal Skull because it's like the trilogy part of it thing. But here's the thing. Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade is the best of the trilogy. My personal favorite movie of it is Raiders of the Lost Ark. And Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I've been quoted on this before, it's my favorite movie of all time. Haters gonna hate, but come at me,
Haters
son.
gonna hate.
Yeah, so anyways, sorry, people are messaging me saying, you're live. I'm like, I know. Watch. No.
Oh my God, you're a popular guy.
I know. People are like, you're live. I'm like, I know.
It's like funny with Indiana Jones, though. You know how it actually came into Inception, though? It's like after Steven Spielberg was nominated for Jaws, they were asking him, so what's your next project? He goes, I want to do James Bond. And they said, you can't do James Bond. Only the Brits can do James Bond.
Yeah.
So Indiana Jones was basically supposed to be like the American James Bond.
I would not be against that. I really would not be against them actually trying to do that.
Really? What do you mean by that?
Like, imagine if they took Indiana Jones and they made it into like a James Bond-esque franchise. What I mean by that is,
like I said, Indiana Jones was supposed to be the American James Bond.
Right, but they could replace the actor and just make him still Indy, Just saying. It's gonna be hard, but they could do it.
It is going to be hard.
That's coming from a guy saying that Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite movie of all time. That's coming from me. So, and I bleed Indy. So, just saying.
Yeah, really good movie. So, any other sequels to?
I think we're good for now.
Wait, I just saw that they're going to do an Indiana Jones 5 coming out in 2022.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't happen, to be honest with you.
Oh, God, are they going to, you know what? I got to look some of this up for a
I
minute.
hope, like, Chris Pratt's Indiana Jones, though. I will say that.
You think they're going to bring back maybe Shia LaBeouf because he was...
Fuck no!
Done in...
Hell no. No, they avoid that like the fucking plague, okay? Don't set me off like that. I'm telling you.
But,
I'm just saying they should really...
think Harrison Ford's going to be back?
I think they should just recast him. I hate to say that. They should recast Indiana Jones to a younger actor, and then they could do it like a James Bond type thing like that.
Like just like make different
actors, like the way they
so kind of actually make him the American James Bond as like
the way they do James Bond. The way they do James Bond, they should do Indiana Jones, in my opinion. They should try and switch actors out and stuff like that. Just saying.
I think they could do that.
But error-wise, I have no idea, because that frees them up from the Crystal Skull stuff. Saying, they could just put him in 1939, and he's looking for the staff of Moses. He's, I don't know, like I'm throwing stuff out there now, but so just saying. Let me pull up what I'm talking about. Hold on. And then we might have to get off. I have this book. This is the game I'm talking about. Did you ever have this game? Because
no, I haven't.
They could easily make this into a movie. Easily. What it's about, like Indiana Jones, is 1939. He's in Sudan, and then an old friend of his reaches out to him about trying to find the lost staff of Moses. There's your story right there, and go from there. It was a horrible game, but so
yeah. What if they did that into movies?
Also, the concept art for this was great. What's that?
They could put that into a movie.
They could. I mean, anything's possible because there's been a ton of Indiana Jones and the somethings out there, like Indiana Jones and the Pearl of Delphi, Indiana Jones and the Dance of the Giants, Indiana Jones and the Philosopher's Stone. I mean, look, I'll show you right now.
I wonder if they're going to go to that.
They could go to that. Hold on. Look. I'm almost done with it. So it's a completely different story with Indiana Jones. So I'm just saying.
So they took on a lot. It's like they took on a life of its own.
It's its own franchise. Indiana Jones and the Eye of the Tiger. You know what I mean? Like they could, I don't know. They could do other things too. So anyways, that's enough talking about that for a day.
Okay, so I think we might be good. Okay, if you think, wait a minute, you guys didn't talk about Star Wars. We talked a lot about that in last week for franchise. So if you want,
we talked about a lot of stuff tonight actually, because we've been going for an hour and a half.
Yeah, and I just want to say next week.
Oh yeah, plug.
We're actually for the next 2 weeks. We're actually be taking a little break from movies.
Yes. So our next topic for next week is going to be a completely different topic from movies in general. We're going to be talking about artists we love. And I don't mean like painters. We're talking about bands. We're talking about singers. We're talking about people that we like to listen to. We're going to be talking about all that stuff. Bill and I are going to make a list, and we're going to go off on that stuff next week. And then the week after that, the week of Thanksgiving, we're going to do albums instead. So we're doing artists first, then albums, and then after that, we'll figure stuff out from there. I uploaded a video to the YouTube channel, so you all can check that out too.
Yeah, and like I said, when we get closer to Christmas, we'll make like we'll do a poll on Twitter, which I'll get to. Like, what topics do you want to talk about for us to talk about for Christmas?
Yeah, we could talk about that. we could I'm not sure what Christmas stuff we could do, but we'll see.
I'll tell you off camera.
Yeah, whatever. Then we could do like a Christmas movie. Whatever. We'll figure that out. So
Yeah, but
how would you rank the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special?
yeah. Okay, guys. So we hope you enjoyed, and like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah. Everyone, thank you so much for watching for the 2 hours we've been talking practically. Feel free to jump in the comment section below and share your thoughts on all things sequels. Are there any that we didn't mention that you hated or loved? Jump down in the comment section below. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Love to hear them.
Bill, I want to thank you for joining me again, as always.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
You can follow us on Twitter at Super Review Show. Bill is in charge of that now. He's in charge of promoting us on Twitter. I see that some people begin to follow that on Twitter. That'd be great if you could just follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We love to talk about things, movies, music. Mixed Bag is every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Thank you so much for tuning in. And but for all of your live streams and all these talks of movies and artists and stuff like that, and keep it locked to the Super Review Show. Bill, we're signing off.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.